Crafting Around. Today we are going to do a fall project. It is going to be just kind of like a swag with different kinds of materials, different kinds of ribbons. We are looking to do the fall colors because it will turn fall pretty soon. Fall is one of my favorite seasons in South Dakota. So let's get started. If you have any kind of scrap material, any kind of ribbon that you want to use, incorporate ribbon. You can incorporate woods, metals, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to incorporate the wood with the fabric or the ribbon. So before we get started, the one thing we don't want to do is forget the coffee. Okay, so what I did was I did have some ribbon at home, which I had this right here at home. I love this, my favorite colors. Well, I should say orange is my favorite color. It was kind of like a burnt orange. I then went to Bismarck and I found this on sale. It was half off of $4.99. I thought I got a heck of a good bargain. Then what I did was I went into Joann's Fabrics has these. These are called material quarters. Some of them are called fat quarters. They were on sale. I got them for 99 cents. So it's a small amount of material. I believe it's about a yard of material, half a yard of material or so. So I found these two colors that I thought would go really good. They don't have to be just in the same family. I did find this ribbon as well with pumpkins on there. Got that on sale. And then I had some of the lace ribbon at home that I used and some of the stretchy stuff that I had around that I'm going to use. The other thing that I found that I wanted to do is I wanted to incorporate some of the wood into it. So I'm going to do and show you how I did the words fall. And what I did was I did choose my favorite color that I like, one of my favorite colors, and it so happened to be this, I believe it's called Peblo is what it's called. It's the folk art, and it is acrylic paint. It's not the chalk paint this time. I know, surprise, surprise, right? Well, anyway, it's because I did find the color that I really liked in this. This is a pretty fall color. The other colors that I'll be kind of incorporating a little bit is the acrylic, kind of a green color, darker green color. I really did like this color. I didn't incorporate a whole lot of this. This is like a yellow color. I had a mustard color at home that I really liked the best, so we're going to incorporate that mustard color with this. I don't want the fabric and stuff to look so fancy. I don't want this to look fancy at all. I just want it to look kind of chicish, I guess is what I'm going to call it. So what I did with these is I painted them the orange. We're going to do that here in a bit. What I found was I found the lettering that I like, and you actually get two of the same letters in the pouch. So for 99 cents at Hobby Lobby, I picked up the words fall, which is kind of cool because the owl had already two of them in there. So I actually spend $2, $3 just on the lettering, which is to me very, very good. All kinds of lettering that you can get, all kinds of the different fonts that you can get. It's unbelievable when you go into these craft places what you can use. I wanted the letters to be tall and I wanted them to be somewhat thin. So that's how I came across these. Sometimes when you're looking for something, you have to go into more than one place to find it, or look online if it's something that you're really, really interested in looking for. I found a lot of times I go to the 3 stores in Bismarck, and I also go to Walmart because Walmart has a place as well that you can get some stuff. And Target is starting to really come out with different things too. So I think that's really cool. So I usually hit up as many places as what I can find. So many different things you can incorporate with this. There's the raffia ribbon that you could put in here if you would like. There are different kinds of things that you could add to it, like the pip berries if you wanted to. I did find some of these that I had at home, some fall color ones, and I did find just the plain white with the kind of dark green and the different stuff in here. So the dark green, the brown tones, have the white in the kind of grayish tones in this one. Here is the orange and the reds and the colors that you normally would find in the fall. So we're going to get started with this. When I started this project, I kind of wanted something that I can use like year round. So when we're done with fall, I'm going to do Halloween and Christmas, and I want to try to do all the different ones. So it's going to be a matter of just hanging it up once it's hung up and put together the way we want it. Then we can change it out and go shopping for different things for Christmas and for Halloween, and that is pretty much the extent nowadays of my decorating. I don't decorate as much as I did when my kids were home and were little. I just don't do that much anymore. But this would be something that you could easily do. What I did was I'm going to put on 2 coats of paint. I am also going to paint the back side because how these hang, they're going to hang like this. And how these hang, depending, they could kind of turn and stuff a little bit. So I'm going to do both sides of them. I'm going to paint. The back side, I really only painted 1 coat on there. Like I said, the front side, we're going to paint 2. Then we're going to distress it a little bit. And we're going to take some of the stain after it, because fall colors to me are kind of dull colors. And the duller colors to me are, I like the distressed look. So of course that is part of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm painting this. We're going to set this to the side until it dries. Once it's dry, we're going to come back after it again. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to make the same side the same length, because I don't want it to be kitty wonkus. I don't care like the sizes of what these are, but I want both sides to match each other. So when I cut this, I just kind of tore the material, because again, I didn't want it to look nice. I want it to look kind of shabby-ish, in the shabby chic kind of department. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stuff and I am going to do the same length. The other thing that I did was to give it a little bit of dimension and give it a little bit something different. I took the different stuff, and I decided I kind of needed something to have it kind of offset the fabrics and the stuff that I had. So in order to do that, what I did was I found some beading. And I took the beads, and they were just the plain color wood beads, just like this right here. So I took the colors, and I did have some of these. It was mixed in with this color. And I took the larger ones, and I painted them the colors that I have right here. So this was the orange that I used, the green that I used, and then like I said, I had this mustard color at home that I really liked. So what I did with these was I painted them, and I let them dry. And I painted them a couple times, and then I took some sandpaper after them and I sanded them down a little bit, because I didn't want them to be so out there, so in your eyes, in your face kind of a deal. Plus I wanted this to match with this, but yet I wanted to use the fall colors. So what I did was I took some sandpaper, sanded them off, sanded it a little bit, and then I took the stain that I used and I stained them with the dark walnut. Let it set. Let them go overnight, and then I took the raffia ribbon and I just started tying knots in it. Put in a couple beads, tie the knots so that they don't slip back and forth, same thing. Okay. The other thing that I did is I decided that I wanted to actually hang it on this kind of string. So what I did was, and you can put it on anything that you want, but I decided to go with, I call it baler twine. I know that's not what it is, but this is what I use to put it on. And when I'm stringing the beads, because this kind of frayed a little bit at the end, I just put a piece of Scotch tape on there to kind of hold it together. So I'm going to have to Scotch tape this in too. And then what I did was I hung it up because I wanted to see the lengths and I wanted to see how to put it together and what I was going to do with it. The first coat is dry, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat it again real quick. And then we're going to hang the string up, this twine. We're going to hang that up. And we are going to go put this over by the heater so that it dries nicely so that we can paint the other side and then stain it and hang it up. Now, what I did was when I hung up the twine, And I hung it up in my office and I let it sit there for a while because I wanted to see what I wanted to add to it. I'd walk in one day and look and I didn't like something, came back the next day, decided I needed something else for it. So what we're going to do is we have some shelving in here. I'm going to hang it up on the shelving and then we're just going to add things to it. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to cut. I'm going to take this and just kind of measure what I wanted. All the stuff I got on sale, I don't usually buy this stuff unless it's not on sale because to me it is expensive. So I wait to get half off, or some of the stuff that you can go buy and you can look at actually will give you things off that because they're trying to get rid of the color or something. So, and you can reuse, like this here I'll use for Christmas. I can even use it later on for Halloween. I can, you know, sky's the limit on what you want to do. I love this pumpkin one. I think this one here is so cool. Get to that. If you want to make it longer, you definitely can. I'm not going to make mine so terrible long because I have a spot by my window that I'm going to put this in. And with my spot by the window, I don't have a whole lot of space with my curtain and stuff. So I want to, wow, this is just about perfect. Whoa, thank you. We'll do this one here last. I like this too, the leaf. And like I said, half off, that I can live with because this was like $5.99 and well, I don't use ribbon enough to justify the $5.99. And then once we have them up, if we want to cut them, we can cut them a little bit. If we think it's too long, if we think that it's too whatever, you can always adjust it once you have it up and you have it hanging. Like I said, it takes me a while once I go through and I look at stuff. I might look at it for a week and decide, I really don't like it the way that is. Change it up. Or you might just be walking around and all of a sudden find a bargain that, I call it a bargain when I talk to my husband, call it a bargain. Like this here, I realize it has a lot of ribbon on it. This was $9.99. Again, I got it half off. But I thought it matched in so well with the colors. You know, sometimes you see things, you have to have them. And this was, what was this plus this piece right here is what I paid the 99 cents for, which I think is a deal. I don't use a lot, and like I said, I just tear this. I don't use a lot of fabric, so for me, buying this quarter, I guess it's a quarter yard is, I guess, what I'm thinking. And beans, I don't use a lot of material. I do like that they did come up with something like this. They also have some smaller squares. I'm not sure what those are called though. And sometimes they have, with the smaller squares, they will have the different colors of material that go with each other on that, in that package, which I think is cool because I'm not, like I said, I'm not a material lady. If I have any kinds of questions about material, person I go to at work is Beody. She would be your lady. And again, I like the shabby chic. I like the threads hanging, the distressed look. It's what it's all about. You could make tassels out of this too. Now, I haven't ever tried that, but I think that would be kind of fun to do. Why I'm tearing this and kind of gone along is because when I tore my other ones, you can see that it got kind of fatter towards the end on some of these, especially this one, you can tell. I wasn't aware that when you tear fabric, that when you start here and you go all the way to the bottom, it kind of starts to get either wider or smaller, or I didn't know that. So lesson learned, always learn lessons in this part of the game. Okay, we're going to, this dries really fast. It's a little tacky yet, but I'm just going to paint the back of it now. And then once this is dried thoroughly, we are going to take some sandpaper after it and sand it. I always use wax paper. Wax paper is my friend, my big friend. I use wax paper to lay down on the table so that I don't get a bunch of paint all over. I also use wax paper to take the color and I dab stain on it, and it's wonderful. Wax paper has become a big, big thing for me. Okay, we've got that going. I'm going to put it over by, we have a heater in here, so I'm going to put it over by the heater and I'm just going to let it dry. And like I said, once it's dry, then we can come back and do the rest of the stuff to it here. I am going to hang up the twine so that we can get started, and once I've got the twine hung up, we'll come back.
Valley is now offering updated digital TV packages and prices. Ask us about the brand new Choice TV package. Call Valley today at 437-2615.
Okay, we are going to hang up the stuff that we have here, and then we will get back to the word fall when we put it up here. Okay, what I want to do is, because the word fall is in the deep orange, I want to put like a lighter color beside it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start hanging, and when I hang, I kind of do like a loop kind of a thing. And this here, we're going to have to keep tightening it because I don't want it to be, I didn't want to put it on here permanently. And as you can see, I did leave quite a bit of room and quite a bit of space here, so that when I want to cut it, I can cut it and get it to the size that I want. So I always start out pretty tall with it. Now, the front, if you don't want the front, if you want the back of this to be a little bit more, a little bit less, that's why with this knot, you can adjust it. And with this knot, it almost looks like a tie, and that's what I like about it. And it's easy to put on, easy to take off, and easy to slide around on here. Okay, this will be our first one. I want to put like a long one there, and I know that I made these a little bit longer, but again, if you want to, you can turn it around and make it longer, make it shorter. I put this on the front, make this loop like in here, put it in the front, take this to the back. It's easier to do this with a little bit thinner ribbon, and I want the colors to show. So, and once you get this on, again, it is the ribbon that I get, I make sure that I have the wire ribbon here to use, because with the wire ribbon, it's going to hang a lot better. Plus you can manipulate it and use it a little bit differently. So now that I have this up here, I can kind of do with it what I want. And make this again a little bit tighter, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this so it stays a little bit better, so I don't have to continually work with it. And I'll just put a knot right here. There we go. Okay, now again, you can make the front however you want to make it. You can put it on here to make it look like that. You can tighten it a little bit more, just kind of however you want. And like I said, because it does have the wire in here, it's easy to make it go in any direction that you want. When we're done, we're going to kind of cut these out of slant, some of them. Okay, so now we have this going on. I'm just going to choose this here. Like I said, put it in the front and bring it through. You can do it differently if you have a different way. Now, I don't like that this part of it is showing because I want to see it all, so just go in there and twist it up to make it stay the way you want it to. Okay, now I'm going to go for, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 more things to put on here. Probably going to go, I want to be able to see the pumpkin and beans. The pumpkin is kind of the thinner one. I am going to go with probably with this yet because I can always take my beads. My beads will be the next thing that I put in. So we'll do one more fabric. It was fun looking for these colors and looking for the things that you like. I really had a lot of fun doing this. And again, if you want it to be a little bit longer, you can have the front longer, the back longer, however you want it. Here I can see that I kind of pulled and I've got some strings hanging. I'm fine with that. In fact, I kind of like it like that, to be honest with you. Makes it look different. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these beads in there just to kind of offset things a little bit so that it's just not all fabric and just not all one or two things. And again, I'm going to do the same thing here to kind of even this one out. You can have it longer, can have it shorter, can do what you want with it. I kind of like it because it kind of breaks up the stuff a little bit more for you. You want to be able to see it. So, and another thing too, once you get it hung up, you may decide later when you get it hung up to the place that you want it to be. Here, when I take this home and put it up, it may not look on my window, on my rod, where my window and stuff is at and where I have my curtain. I may want to do it a little bit differently. Again, you can definitely do that. That's not a problem. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to put this one up. I'm going to leave it this size because I do want something a little bit shorter in here. Now this ribbon here, like I said, is a little bit different. It's a little bit harder. The reason why I liked it is because I like the pumpkins so much, and it is the theme to it. Now, when I get the word fall up here, I might take the pumpkins and put them over there. It may work the best over there once I have everything up. The next deal is that I'm going to put this ribbon in here, and I know I'm going to want that a little bit longer because I want it longer than this right here. Oops, did that backwards. You can see it come up backwards on me. So let's go something like this. And bring it through. And you can decide how big of a bow you want on it, how much you want it hanging over. There we go. And it doesn't have to look like the rest. That's the beauty of it all. This here kind of curls. I didn't really notice that till after I bought it, that it kind of curls like that. But as you can see, I have some longer, I have some shorter, I have the front shorter, I have this longer. Kind of have these the same. This one here, the front's a little bit longer. Here, the front is shorter again. Do different things with it. Don't keep it the same. Because when you have something the same gets boring. So don't have it the same so that it's boring. Do different. Different is good. Now, if you ask my husband about different, he might say, nope. He's kind of one that likes things to stay the same. Okay. Just twist to get it to where you like it. I'm pulling down on it a little bit more here on the one side. So here is a little crazy yet. I'm going to pull around on that until I get it to where I like the knot. If I don't like the knot, which you can see I'm not too impressed with it. There we go. Now you can see that we have the different sizes, the different shapes, different textures. And this is part of our fall ribbon design. Okay, we're going to now finish the L so that we can get the word fall on here and complete our other side.
Blazing fast broadband internet from Valley is now available and better than ever. Let us help you decide which speed is best for you. The 50 meg speed would be sufficient for 1 to 4 devices, mainly emailing and surfing the web. Our 100 meg speed works great for 5 to 8 devices and multiple users streaming and downloading video. If you have 8 devices or more that are simultaneously streaming or gaming, or if you have a medium-sized business, the 250 meg speed would work best for you. For extreme heavy home or work from home use, or if you have a medium to large business using 15 or more devices, you may want to consider our 500 meg download speed to fit your needs. And if you're a home or business that needs it all, we have our 1000 meg 1 gig broadband internet speed. Call our office today at 437-2615 and talk with one of our staff members to pick the speed that's best for you.
Okay, our L is complete. We have it, the orange on both sides, dry. So now we are going to use some sandpaper. Going to sand the top because we want it to give it a little definition. Going to sand the sides a little bit. This is probably the least thing that I like is sanding. To me, sanding just takes too much time away from project. A lot of people can't understand why you paint something and then take it off. But this has to match the stuff in my house. And this is also something that you really don't have to spend. I would say by the time it was all said and done, I'd probably spend maybe maybe about $10, $12 on this project. And it could be even less because the stuff that I bought some stuff on clearance, so it was even more than 50% off on some of the stuff. The material that I got for less than 99 cents because it's kind of hard to say because I had 50% coupons, and then sometimes if you hit some of those places up right like Joann's and Michael's, if you download their app, you can turn around and actually get more, like 20% off your entire order. And I had that both in Michael's and Joann's that day, so I was fortunate to be able to actually get that kind of stuff. Okay, so when you're done sanding, wipe off. I'm going to keep reusing this wax paper. If you're like me, you need to wear something because you're going to have some of this stuff on you. I'm not very careful when it comes to that. And this stuff really makes your table yucky, so you should have something over the top of it. The other thing that I get for at home is if I'm doing bigger projects, I will get shower curtain liners. You can get a lot of those shower curtain liners and reuse and reuse and reuse those, and they're nice and big. I do that quite often, and especially if they're on sale like at Walmart. I'll pick up a bunch of them and reuse them for at home to cover my table. I mean, it's a little too late for my table at home, to be honest with you, because I kind of did the no-no there and got it messed up. I always wear gloves with stain. I hardly ever wear it with the paint, but I do wear it with the stain. I always dab off on here. I mean, you're going to do this and then you're going to rub it off, which is fine. Stain is very hard to come off your fingers. Plus, you don't want it to, I don't like chemicals and stuff like that to get into my body if I can all help it. I just want, you know, the regular sugar and sweets and, you know, all that kind of stuff to get into my bloodstream, but heaven forbid that any other chemical get in there. You know, pick up some of this a little bit again and do the back. The back isn't as big of a deal to me. It's just kind of what you're gonna see if it happens to flip or turn. So now we're just gonna let this set for just a little bit. In fact, we're gonna let it set for just a few minutes, and the reason we're going to even do that is because I'm going to plug in my hot glue gun. I see a spot that I want to get a little bit different, so I'm going to plug in the hot glue gun. Then I'm going to go back over the top of the one spot. I'm going to get a hot glue gun here for us that is hot and cool, because I found Gorilla Glue sticks, hot glue sticks. And it says on the back here that for high temp, you could do the wood, plastic, metal, and glass. And the low temp would be for floral, fabric, foam, and jewelry. So this is multi-use with high temp and low temp. So I'm going to be looking for a hot glue gun that has both those features, because this one here is just a hot glue gun. I went for cheap and went a little too cheap on that one, but yeah, we'll have to get that. Okay. Like I said, for right now, we're just going to wait. I had to make a decision of what I wanted to put on the back to hold them. I looked around because I have quite a bit of stuff in my craft department place in my house. In fact, I've got stuff kind of laying all over. But anyhow, I looked around to see if I could find something that it would hang nicely in. I did find, let me see if I can find it now. It's just kind of an eye hook. This over the top. It's just kind of an eye hook like this. And then it has where you can take it and actually screw it into something. You can screw this into wood to hang stuff. You can, like corks, different things like that. And then what I did was I just hot glued it to the back really good so that it stays. And then once it's hot glued, we're going to take it and hang it on twine. So that will be our next thing that we do here. And then once we put it in between, what we're going to do is we are going to take these beads that I did in the lighter color, and we're going to take them and we're going to put them in between the letters so that the letters aren't all together like this. They're kind of separated out so you can see the word fall. Again, we're just going to wait for the hot glue here. When I also did these, I kind of had to see how they hung, because when I did this first one, I put it in the middle. The middle doesn't always mean that it's going to hang decent on a letter. As you can see, like for instance with the F, I had to go all the way over here for it to hang decent. When I put it over here, it fell like this. When I put it over here, this side fell. So you kind of have to play around with it a little bit to know where your letters and stuff, how you're going to do that. The A, of course, was easy because it was just the middle. It's got the two sides like that, where the F and the L don't. They have the sides coming here, which makes it hang differently. I did use the same size when I used the twine. I used the same so that it would hang the same way. Be careful with the hot glue gun. The hot glue gun is hot. It's very hot. A lot of times I will just dive right into it and I'll get my fingers and my fingers will get hot and they'll burn, and then I'll have to get mad, and yeah, I don't really like that. I always test it to make sure, because if you use it before you should use it and it's not hot enough, it's not going to hold your piece either. So two different things that you kind of have to that you kind of have to watch out for. Is if the glue is not hot enough, because if it's not hot enough, it will not stick, and your piece will fall apart. So when I did this, I kind of put a little piece in here. I sat this on because it's small, my fingers are big, and then I hot glued over the top of it. I want to see kind of where I put this one so that I get them the same. And of course, make sure that you're doing it on the right side. I've been known to spell things wrong when I do this show, and I know better, that's the whole story. And I have been known to put adhesive on the wrong sides. I have done that. I have used hot glue and I have hung the stuff, and a couple days later I come in and it's down because of course I was impatient and I didn't let the glue gun get nice and hot. So those are all some little tidbit things that I have come away with. So let's check this baby out. She's hot. Okay, and here we go. As a crafter using a hot glue gun, I really seriously have to wonder if I have fingerprints, because every time I do the show and every time I work at home, this much I know, I think I've lost part of my fingerprint. Because it gets hot. There we go. Push it in and glue over the top. I use hot glue for just about everything. I'm a big hot glue user. Number one, it doesn't take long to dry. Number two, it does hold. And I like that it doesn't leave like a yellow or it doesn't discolor anything. About the only thing that I don't like about it is, and once it's set pretty good, is the hot part of it. But hence the word hot glue. And if you see any of the strings or anything like that, you can take them off. There we go. And a tiny little knot up here. And there we go. The word fall is coming together. Okay, let's go and hang these on.
Faster than fast internet is here. Valley now has higher broadband speeds of up to 1 gigabit. Get the bandwidth you need for all your devices at one time. Gaming with no lag time. Video stream your favorite movies instantly in HD quality. Video chat with friends and family without interruption. Download your favorite music and photos in seconds. All on our 100% fiber optics network. Valley offers managed Wi-Fi and backup services too, bringing together all the services you need. Valley Telecommunications Cooperative.
We're going to put this together and we are going to be using the wood beads as spacers. So for the outside ones, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use green and a white on that end and start putting the letters on here. And like I said, once it's hanging and stuff like that, then you can tell if you need to do anything different or if you want to add anything different or what you want to do. But I'm going to space it using 2 of the wood beads in between each letter, just so that the spacing and everything looks good. And you can adjust as you go along. I mean, it's not, you know, this isn't like it has to be this way and it has to be that way. No, it's not rocket science. You can switch it up as you go along. And then we're going to end it with green one. So we're going to go green first and the off-white on the outside. Okay, now we're going to hang this back up again so that we can get a better grip and finish putting the rest of our stuff on here. Okay, because I started with this, I'm going to start with this again over here because I don't want it to look odd. I'm going to go the same as I am right here. Then I may change it up as we go along. Because like I said, you don't have to keep it this way. You can always change. Take a look at it, step back from it a little bit, take a look at it, kind of decide, is that the way you want to keep it? If not, by all means, switch it up. And like I said, you don't have to use the wood beads in between, but I think it spaces it out so that you can see the words better. Okay, this is the next one. And again, this will be hanging up on my a curtain rod that I have at home. I have a curtain rod and then I have my drapes drawn, so it will be perfect for that. This one here, I kind of like to keep a little, not make the top quite so fat, because then you have to really work it to bring it down. But that can easily be done. Like I said, if you've got another way of doing this, go for it. I'm just doing it kind of like in a tie, because I did find that that was the easiest to do it in, to hang them on here with. And then when you're done, you want it to, you'll have to cut off the twine. Look at the twine and see, you know, how far, how much you need. You can always move these. These are mobile. So I can tell already that I'm going to be moving my stuff around a little bit. But that can always be done once you have everything put together. Easy enough project to do. And you can use anything you want. You can put together and you can just use this with raffia ribbon. You don't need to even use twine to hang it. You can hang it with whatever you want to hang it with. I mean, sky's the limit. Now we're gonna go with this. I had debated, first I had these strung instead of on raffia ribbon, I had them strung on some old leather that I had at home, shoelace leather. And I didn't quite like it as much. I thought the raffia ribbon gave it a little bit different look. Once we're done, we'll tighten all this up so that you can get a little bit better look, and I can get a little bit better look of if I want to switch something around or not. And like I said, so many things out there nowadays to choose from and decide what you want to use. Tons of things out there nowadays. When I say the sky is the limit, not joking. The sky is the limit for what you can use. Different materials, different things now that they make. So many things. I'm a big clearance lady. When I see things on clearance, if at all I think I can use them, it becomes mine. Because things nowadays are expensive, but if you can find them on sale and you can find them to be a good bargain, I say go for it. Because it's hard to find bargains nowadays. I'm just going to push this stuff this direction just to give you a nice view of what we've got going on here. And will I switch it up? Yeah. I'll walk by and look at it a few times, and pretty soon I'll think, well, I can't really see that real well. That's hidden, and I don't like it being hidden like that. Probably switch it up 10 times before I actually leave it the way it is. And I might cut some of this off in the bottom, and I might just keep it where it's at. Taking this up so you can see it better. Go. Like I said, you just need to fiddle with it and get it to where you want it to be.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
Come back and join us again for Just Crafting Around. The next time you see us, Lisa is going to be making a fall decoration as well. And the following month, what we are going to be doing is starting to make our Christmas decorations. So come back and join us again for Just Crafting Around.